Let's go! Hey, y'all, look, I'm really proud of you, okay? I mean, that was a battle, and you just got to find a way to win. And we found a way to win. See? My God. Oh. My God. Most single game points in Fever franchise history. First ever WNBA 40-point, 10-assist ball game. Kels combined for the most points in franchise history, 75. And KK, way to be ready, baby. One more. Hey, third most offensive rebounds. It takes all of us. We had great defense down the stretch. Defense! We held them to 36% from the floor. Okay? 0 made threes, and only 4 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter. Together on 3, 1, 2, 3, together.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. I have to say it right now, this was one of those games that reminds you exactly why so many people fell in love with watching Caitlin Clark in the first place. We've had some great performances this season. We've had some exciting moments, but this one felt different. Honestly, the only other game that gave me a similar feeling was that Washington game. Watching this, I kept thinking to myself, this is a player who simply refuses to let her team lose. That's the type of basketball I love. That's the type of shit that gets me excited to cover this league. It's not about the drama, it's not about the narratives, it's about watching someone completely take over a basketball game when everything is on the line. That's exactly why 2024 was so much fun. Caitlin Clark was cooking every single night. The Indiana Fever were one of the most entertaining teams in basketball. Win or lose, people tuned in because they knew something crazy could happen. That's basketball at its best. And that's why I always say sports bring people together. I saw someone in the comments saying their 82-year-old mother was sitting there watching this game. That's incredible. Basketball is one of those universal languages. It doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, or who you cheer for. When you see greatness, everybody recognizes it. But let's keep it real. Caitlin Clark was not letting Indiana lose this game. She wasn't accepting it. Every possession mattered to her. Every shot mattered. Every defensive play mattered. You could see it written all over her face. I still need to see that defensive steal again because that play was unbelievable. I'm sure Clark Report is going to post it because everybody is talking about it. Was it a foul? Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, I don't even care. It was so damn close to being perfectly clean that it's almost impossible to complain. People were joking that she's back like Voldemort, and honestly, they're not wrong. It felt like vintage Caitlin Clark all over again. Then came the play that absolutely blew my mind. She had just made that defensive play, gets the ball back, and now she's getting trapped almost as soon as she crosses half court. Every defender knows the ball is staying in her hands. For just a split second, she's looking at Michaela Timpson, and you're thinking, okay, maybe she's finally going to pass it. Except she doesn't. She's almost never making that pass in that situation. Instead, Flau'jae Johnson is right in front of her, and Caitlin hits her with one of the nastiest moves you'll see all season. And remember, we're watching this in real time. This isn't slowed down, this isn't edited, this isn't some highlight playing at half speed. This is happening live. She freezes Flau'jae Johnson, creates just enough space, somehow keeps her balance, and launches one of the craziest off-balance shots you'll ever see. I literally sat there thinking, what the hell? Then she turns around and points at herself like, yeah, that's me. The confidence, the swagger, the shot making, everything about that sequence was ridiculous. I've talked all season about how Paige Bueckers has been one of the best clutch players in basketball. I've praised her over and over again because she's earned it. But tonight belonged to Caitlin Clark. This was one of the greatest clutch performances I've watched from anybody in the WNBA this year. And honestly, if this game somehow goes into overtime, I think she's dropping 50 points. Seriously, would anyone honestly bet against her after what we just watched? She already had 45 points and 10 assists. The crazy part is, Indiana needed every single one of those 45 points. They needed every one of those 10 assists. If I'm remembering correctly, she entered the fourth quarter with 29 points and only 3 assists. Then she exploded. 16 points, 3 assists, one incredible quarter. I think she only had 1 turnover in the entire second half. That's superstar basketball. I completely agree. This was finally just a fun basketball game to watch. CC was completely locked in. Stop overthinking it. Stop trying to force something that isn't there. Just give Caitlin the keys. Like Robin Lundberg keeps saying, give Caitlin the keys and let her run the offense. Because we've seen exactly what happens. When Caitlin has the ball in her hands, Kelsey Mitchell can still score 30 points. When Kelsey is running everything, Caitlin's impact disappears. It's really that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate basketball. Then you go back and watch that defensive play one more time. Boom. She reaches in, her elbow gets the ball first, then there's a little follow-through on the arm. If the officials had called a foul, I understand why they probably wouldn't overturn it. But from every angle I've seen, she gets the ball first. That's what makes it such a difficult call. Flaja Johnson doesn't even spend much time arguing because she knows how close it was. We've seen something similar before against Natasha Cloud, except in that play, Caitlin got more arm before the ball. This one looked different. Either way, it set up the biggest shot of the night. She comes down, creates space, hits another ridiculous sidestep 3. Absolute shit. Pure killer instinct. She was so clutch, she might as well have been the mascot of the Houston Rockets. Everything about those final minutes screamed superstar. This is the Caitlin Clark everyone has been waiting to see again. This is the player everyone hyped coming into the league. Even if you don't think it's her greatest game ever, it's absolutely in the conversation over the last 3 years. Sure, Paige Plum against Phoenix deserves to be mentioned. Marina Mabrey had an unbelievable performance too, even though it came in a 30-point blowout. But this one was different because every bucket mattered. Every possession mattered. She even stepped up and calmly knocked down the final 2 free throws to make sure Indiana closed the game out. That's what franchise players do. That's what superstars do. That's what leaders do. Caitlin Clark didn't just score 45 points. She carried her team when they needed her most, delivered in every clutch moment, and reminded everybody why she's one of the most exciting players in the entire sport. So clutch, so damn clutch.
In a single game in franchise history, 45 points in 29 minutes. The first ever 40-point 10-assist game in WNBA history. She became the fastest player in WNBA history to 200 three-pointers made. 4th most point assist double-doubles in WNBA history. This one didn't get read, but passes Tully for 5th most threes in franchise history. Sorry, Cole. KK, 3rd most offensive rebounds in a single game in franchise history. And Caitlin and Kelsey combined for the most points in franchise history at 75 points between the two of them. So, lots of fun stats. So with that, I will turn it over to Tony.
Caitlin, how did this game feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some nights, like, you have it, and, like, even before the ball tips, and I felt like it was going to be one of those for me, obviously, like, struggled a little bit getting back into the groove after missing a couple weeks, so, thought this was, like, a good opportunity for me to come out and be aggressive early, and also I knew my team needed that, especially with AB out, so, like, I knew that I had to step up to, the challenge, and, I was able to get to the free throw line a lot. It's easy to see the ball go through. I was able to draw some fouls, and, obviously, our defense was pretty embarrassing, but you got to give us credit for the way we were able to fight. I think we were down 8 with 4 minutes to go, or 6 with 4 minutes to go, something like that. And we always just kept finding a way, and just proud of our group. And obviously, a lot of people stepped up in AB's absence, and obviously, KK, was incredible tonight too.
You said you could tell before the game started. Was there a moment or point in time where that happened? Did a specific thing happen? How did that feeling come for you?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you just have to believe you're going to have those type of nights, and you have to visualize having those type of nights, and I feel like that's what I did, and you know, it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes there's going to be, you know, a stretch where you're, you know, the ball's not going through the rim and you can't get discouraged. And I know all the time in the work that I put in and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself. And, you know, you just got to dig your feet in a little bit, and, you know, when it's not going your way, nobody cares. Like, find a way to make it better and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
Caitlin, can you take us through, I think it was 1 or 2 tied up, kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of going down, they got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was the 41st point, to kind of go ahead that full play.
Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and it kind of blew up our ATO. Like, they played good defense and, you know, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean, I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball, and obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster. Like, I wanted to play fast, I didn't want them to set their defense, and then obviously, like, I think that's almost an easier situation for myself, playing kind of in transition, rather than having to diagram something on the sideline, ATO-wise, where, you know, I can, like, just kind of freestyle it a little bit more, and that's kind of what I did. And, you know, she made a couple good plays on the ball, got a couple deflections, and I kind of got her out of position a little bit, and then was able to step back to my left and the winner, and so that was nice.
Caitlin touched a little bit there, but the defensive strip, we talk a lot about your defense throughout your career. It's always something that's going to be one of the sort of teams. So to be a defensive stopper in that moment, how did that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had 4 steals, 2 blocks. It's pretty rare, pretty nice. But I still feel like I could have, you know, played a little bit better, especially in the first half. Like, they kind of opened up my hips a good amount and were able to get downhill. And they have fast guards. Their guards are really, really good. And then obviously their posts are great too. But, you know, I thought we could have been a little bit better, helping everybody out, you know, whether that was me rotating on drives, no matter what it was. Like, we didn't always have that rotation. Like, you know, they're good players and they have a really good young core. Like, they're going to be a team to watch in the next couple of years. You know, they're a difficult matchup, especially when, you know, AB's out. And I think this also shows, like, how good of a defender AB is and how good of an anchor she is for us on defense and her communication. You know, obviously a lot of people stepped up in her absence tonight, but, like, she really dominates that end for us, and she's just always in the right position. She always knows the right coverage, and she cleans up the glass really well. So, but yeah, I mean, I just tried to make some plays on the ball there at the end, came up with a couple steals, and you know, really the only time our defense was good was late in the 4th quarter, and I guess it's when you need it, so we'll take it.
And one quick follow-up, KK, for those who are not teammates of Caitlin, what does it feel like to watch her be sort of this orchestrator of crazy moments?
Just greatness right here, you know what I mean? Man, she does some crazy stuff out there on the court, man. You know, of course, her signature logo 3, the way she can get to her shots, and just being able to, you know, set her screens and get her open. You know, we trust her so much here on the field, and I mean, she's just a great player overall. You know, she always, you know, talking to me, making sure, you know, hey, come set me a screen, you know, but I'm willing to do whatever I can for her, you know, on the court, and just a great player overall.
Caitlin, obviously, you know, 45-point night's always nice, but considering the injuries and kind of struggling to find a rhythm, just in that aspect, how nice was it to find your rhythm, obviously, tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was aggressive. Like, you know, I think I even started like maybe 2 for 5 from the field, and, you know, didn't get discouraged. Like, just kept attacking, taking what the defense gave me. You know, like I said, I think, especially in the 2nd quarter, like, I really got to the free throw line and really got them in the air, used my body well, and then you just make plays down the stretch, and you get free throw opportunities down the stretch, and those are the ones you have to make. And you know, I still feel like I can play better. I think the thing I'm most proud of, I think all 4 of my turnovers were in the first half, so I really took care of the ball in the second half, and, you know, that was big for us. I think we had, I don't know how many turnovers we had at halftime, but, you know, we took care of it there and didn't give them extra possessions, so proud of that for myself. But, you know, it's like, it's one of the hardest things, coming back from injury and being out of the groove and, you know, having time off, and, you know, you just have to kind of continue to believe in yourself and believe in the work you put in. And like I said, this is great, but we have another really difficult test tomorrow, so gotta get ready for that.
KK, just over these past few games, seems like things have really been clicking and falling into place for you. What's been changing? What's been working for you here that allowed you to earn the start tonight?
Just putting the work in, but
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Just putting the work in, you know, just being consistent, you know, having that confidence. You know, my teammates and my coaches, they believe in me, so I also have to believe in myself. You know, like that just shows like I've been putting the work in, being a great player, being a good teammate overall, and just having that confidence. You know, that consistency has been showing, and I just want to keep it going.
For both of you too, the performance tonight of Monique Billings, she had a big block there, scored the game-tying basket. Just what did you see from her out there?
Yeah, I mean, she was great. She stepped up and, you know, she made great plays and she got big rebounds for us. Just really proud of her. You know, it's a really difficult matchup. Their two young posts are really, really good. And the way that Fam can shoot the ball and then Malunga on the inside is, you know, a real challenge, and she stepped up to it, and so did KK. So just really proud of her. I thought she was great tonight as well.
Caitlin, for KK's first career start, what is it like to see the progress that you're able to bring the team, especially against the Storm's big hits?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough first start. Like, they're really good, they're long, they're athletic, they're fast, they score in transition. And she stepped up to the challenge, but I thought, like, she kind of touched on it, like, she's put in the work. Like, she's in the gym, she wants to get better, she's, you know, willing to learn. She works with Rob, our player development, all the time, so just really proud of her, like, you know, and the confidence she now has in herself and everybody has in her. You know, she can go out there and make plays. She's probably the most athletic player I've ever played with and one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. And it's fun to kind of see that come to light, and everybody knows what she's capable of, and she's really just scratching the surface. So can't wait to see where it takes her.
I'll wrap up with James in the middle there, guys.
Caitlin, this might be a dumb question, so forgive me, but minutes restriction the last couple of nights, you got 25 tonight. Was there any conversation about coming out of that game, or are you kind of like, don't even come here?
Steph knows better than that. Trainers know better than that. They would get an earful. But I told Steph at halftime, like, I felt really good, and I didn't want to lose this game, and you know, hopefully I'm gonna do everything I can tonight to take care of my body, and then we get back out at it tomorrow. And but like I said, like, I can trust all the work that I put in on my body, and you know, I spent a ton of time on it, and I trust the people around me that really helped me, and you know, I always find confidence in that. So I know I'm doing all the right things, and there was no way I was ever coming out of the game in the fourth quarter. It didn't matter. I would play with one leg.